there! For this video, let's try to learn about solving one-step linear equations in one variable. In solving one-step equations, when you encounter an addition, you can undo that or you can remove it by doing the opposite operation, which is the subtraction. So, same way, if you have a subtraction, you can undo or remove by doing the opposite operation, which is addition. Now, when you have a multiplication, you can undo that by doing the opposite operation, which is division. And to undo a division, you need to do the multiplication. Take note of that. Now let's go to examples. Right, let's take a look at our first example. So we have x plus 6 is equal to 10, and we're going to solve for x. If it says solve for x, it means that in one side of your equation, if this is your equation, this is your equal, this is your left side, this is your right side. In one side of the equation, you should only have x in there. So as I see here, my x is in the left side, so I only want my x in here. So that means I need to remove this number. That's a plus 6. Remember, to undo an addition, we need to do a subtraction. So to remove the positive 6, I do the subtraction. So do minus 6. Just write minus 6 at the bottom. If you do it on one side, to make this balance or equal, you should also do it to the other side. So we do minus 6 to both sides. Now, we simplify. Put this line here. So a plus 6 and a minus 6 will be 0. So it will cross out. So that's why in your left side, you only have x. So just bring down the x. And then on your right side, you have a positive 10 and a negative 6. So 10 minus 6, that's actually a positive 4. So now, our x is left alone in one side. So that means we have already solved for x. And x is equal to 4. Alright, our next example is negative 5 equals x minus 7, and we're going to solve for x. Now remember, if it says solve for x, it means the x must be left alone in either the left or right side. Alright, so I see in here my x is in the right side, so that means I only want x in here. I only want x in the right side, so that means I need to get rid of this negative 7. Remember, to undo a minus, a subtraction, is to do an addition. So I just do the opposite, which is plus 7. If I do it on one side to make it balance, I also need to do it on the other side. So plus 7 to both sides. And then I'm going to simplify. Put this line here. All right, a minus 7 and a plus 7 is 0. So that cancels out. So that means in this side, the right side, I only have my x. Bring it down. Bring down the equal sign. And then simplify negative 5 plus 7. Negative 5 plus 7, that's actually a positive 2. So now, my x is left alone in one side, so that means I have solved my x. So that x is equal to a positive 2. The next example we have is negative 4x is equal to negative 12. Now, I want you to focus in here because our x is in the left side and we only want x in here, right? That's what it means to say solve for x. Now, if you have a negative 4x, it means negative 4 times x. So the operation in here is multiplication, negative 4 times x. Now remember, to undo a multiplication, we need to do a division. All right, so here's how you do it. Just put the division line divided by, and then whatever number you have there, negative 4. So you divide it by negative 4. All right, if you do it in one side, do it also on the other side. Divide the negative 4. Please make use of this division line. All right, and now we simplify each side. A negative 4 divided by a negative 4, that's actually a positive 1, and it cancels out. So you only have x in the left side. Bring it down, and you have x. Write it down also. Now, divide negative 12 divided by negative 4. That gives you a positive 3. So your x is positive 3. And that's your answer. Alright, so our final example is negative 2 equals x divided by negative 3. And we will solve for x. Again, to solve for x means we only want x in here. So that means I need to remove this negative 3. Alright, and I see that the operation there is division, divided by negative 3. So remember, to undo a division is to do a multiplication. Alright, so here's how you do the multiplication. So all you have to do is close this with parentheses, and then another parentheses. I want to remove my negative 3. It means I will put here a negative 3. Alright, so to undo the division, I do the multiplication of negative 3. And if you do it on one side, you have to do it the other side too. So put a parenthesis to that number and another parenthesis. I used a negative 3 in here, so that should be the same number here. All right, and then we simplify each side of the equation. So for this right side, the negative 3 will be equal to 1. It will be cancelled actually. Just write down x in here, and you have equals, also write it down. And here, it means negative 3 times negative 2. That gives you a positive 6. Alright, so now our x is positive 6.